welcome to the Wednesday edition of the Box Seat. I'm Adam McGrath and joined by Mark Olmos. Mark, 8 races to take a look at and some pretty good weather as well.
Yeah, looking forward to it, Adam. Another Wednesday of racing. Should be good.
Let's take a look at the conditions that we are going to be faced with. The movable rail is out 15 metres with a cutaway in the straight, as we have seen on recent Wednesday. Good conditions as well, and the track is looking superb considering the amount of rain we have had in recent weeks. So really looking forward to the racing. Let's get straight into it with race number 1. It is the maiden over 1,000 metres for 3-year-olds, and some unproven form lines in this and some that just stand out a little bit more.
Yeah, there's one that comes from a really good run as well. We'll have a look at number 5, Theorise last start, running third behind Diva No Doubt.
The turn and back with it there as I Don't Like It at the 350. Over on the inside it's Diva No Doubt. Challenged down the middle by Queenie O'Lara. They're together from Inherit the Magic. Theorise trying to pick up. Disco Smile is further back with 150 still left to travel, and Diva No Doubt the leader from Theorise. Queenie O'Lara. Disco Smile is starting to charge down the outside, but Diva No Doubt will hold them at bay.
Strong performance there by this filly by Snitzel, and you mentioned the form lines there. Diva No Doubt form lines do look reasonably good, but going back to last campaign as well, 1.5 lengths behind Ree's Rocket, races against Vega Magic, Delicate Miss as well. They are Saturday form lines. So although this filly's had the 8 starts and has only placed on 4 occasions and yet to win, the form lines for mine are much stronger. Barrier 1, 55 kilos, should get a really nice run.
Yeah, that run was excellent as well. She made up a little bit of ground behind Diva No Doubt. We've also got number 10 in the race, Excellent Jerry, who's a first starter but comes off a really nice trial behind Bergio.
Yeah, I think there's a bit just to be cautious about with this. I watched the trial numerous times because, like you, the time was good, it looked relaxed, but Renee Forrest on board as well, so you have to take in the weight scale there as well. Anthony Oram, he hasn't had too many 2-year-olds come out and win races in town as well. So I've got a little watch. Barrier 2, it should get a really nice run, and as we saw on face value, the trial was good.
Also take out of it that it was scratched for Saturday for an easier race, so they might try to get an easy kill or finish a little bit closer anyway. In the race, we've also got number 4, Adam, Knuckle Down. You thought we might get a price about this, but it's opened up about $5.
Yeah, I was hoping it might have just snuck through the radar there, but it certainly hasn't. The Sovereign Hall form lines are standing out after a very good win on Saturday. This galloper was only beaten 2 lengths last start and came across heels, had to be pushed out by Troy Turner, but still attacked the line well. I'm not sure if it's ready to win this race, but I do have it in my top 4. I think it can run a race, but very hard to go past the fillies form lines that we mentioned, so I'm tipping number 5, Theorise. I think she'll be too good. From number 4, Knuckle Down, 7, The Girl of Vass, and 6, Confirmation.
Yes, 5 on top for me too, Adam. Theorise from 10, Excellent Jerry, 3, Dutch Spy, and 6, Confirmation.
Race number 2 at Belmont Park. It's over the 1,200 metres, an event for the 2-year-olds, and one of the harder races to analyse because the form for these gallopers, the ones that have raced, hasn't been great.
No, it hasn't, but I still think there's a few handy ones in here, particularly the Stan Bates filly by Savabeel, None Too Savvy, but we'll have a look at the replay of last start, 3rd place getter, Tied Up.
Then Bills O'Reilly followed further back on the rails, then Just Like Fire. At the 250, the Pontiff goes to work on the leader. He's nicely clear. Heron Point going past the 150, led by 2 lengths to Tied Up. Babel had run to 3rd, but Heron Point has raced away from them, and the first favourite will win. Heron Point down to the line from Tied Up or General.
Well, this galloper has certainly improved since joining the Trevor Andrews stable, and it was a good run last start behind Heron Point, which of course we saw race on Saturday at Belmont Park and go the start before, 4.5 lengths to Undisclosed, which I think is going to be a very nice galloper as well. Look, these aren't great form lines, and I don't think Tied Up's going to be a filly that comes out and wins 2 or 3 races, but in this type of a race with the form lines that we've seen, I think she's right in it with 54 kilos and Brad Parnham on board.
Yeah, they must have had an opinion of her, especially sending her to the Magic Millions 2-year-old race at Pinjarra. She ran okay there behind the river, 7.8 lengths, had 100 to 1. Wasn't really fancy, but look, we might see the best of her here. Barrier 10's an interesting query of where she gets to in the run, but as I mentioned, number 10, None Too Savvy from the Stan Bates yard. Jason Whiting keeps the ride, and I thought last start behind Minus Looks was fair. I expected a bit more, but this is much easier.
Well, they were Saturday form lines, weren't they, to now a pretty weak Wednesday, as we've touched upon. So when you look at the run behind Minus Looks, it was good. The run behind Block and Tackle back at Bunbury in April was only fair as well. So it's hard to really gauge where this filly's at. I'm with you. After the trials and some of the runs, you're waiting for her just to put in that breakout performance. It could definitely be here with the 54 kilos, but again, she'd need to take that next step.
Adam, tell us a little bit about this Not a Single Doubt filly, number 9, Moonshine. William Pike stays on this filly. Was okay behind High Conviction. Now, we know High Conviction is above average and won a Wednesday 2-year-old race quite comfortably. Got within 5.8 lengths. Is that enough to win this?
Well, it may just be, and I think the biggest thing you touch upon there is that William Pike is keeping the ride. Anytime you see that when it's not a Grant Williams where he's not forced to be in that stable, you have to take note. So fourth behind High Conviction. Money came for this galloper too. I'm pretty sure it was about 40s into 19s on course. So they did back it well. Beaten 6 lengths by High Conviction. High Conviction would beat this field by that comfortably as well. So I think the form lines are good enough, and I do have it in my 4 as well. I'm going to go with number 8 Tied Up though. From 9, the one we're just discussing, Moonshine. Number 10, None Too Savvy, and 6, If Only.
Yes, I also have the 8 on top. Tied Up from 10, None Too Savvy, 9, Moonshine, and 3, Brother Rand.
Race number 3 at Belmont Park. It is over the 1,200 metres for the 3-year-olds, and I'm really looking forward to this race. I think it's an absolute cracking field for a midweek.
Yeah, there's one filly in particular that stands out. She just can't seem to get a nose down at the right time. 7, So Fancy. We'll have a look at her being beaten by a head against Sovereign Hall last start.
1.5 clear, Sporting Image and Jester Jingle. Down on the inside, Annie's Luck followed further back. What a drop, pushing into the clear. So Fancy sticks on with Sovereign Hall out deeper. He shakes up the leader, Corvara, by the 200. What a drop, Jester Jingle down the outside. Sovereign Hall, Corvara being swamped. Sovereign Hall goes up with Jester Jingle. Sovereign Hall, So Fancy getting through in the middle. Deeper
yeah, she has proven to be a bit of a non-winner, hasn't she? That's her 3rd run in a row where she's finished 2nd, and then even going back 2 starts before her previous 2nd, and she finished 3rd, only beaten a short neck. So if you weighed them all together, she probably hasn't even been a half length yet from those runs. But she has been beaten by good sorts as well. I will say that Early Sun, Sporting Image, and Sovereign Hall, all Saturday winners. So again, dropping back to the midweek may be an advantage. Stepping out to the 1,200 will be interesting, and Jason Brown taking the ride as well. I've got her in my numbers, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a win. But you just kind of want to see it get the job done once.
Yeah, it's just the way she races, Adam. You're spot on there. 2 starts to go behind Sporting Image, got in front of him, and then just waited for him to come and got beaten on the line. So I think Jason Brown will probably try, or takes the ride off Ryan Hill, and probably try to hold up, last 50, try to go past them. Hopefully she's good enough. I think she's good enough. She's got to show that killer instinct. Also got number 6, Massachusetts, in the race. Out of the Lindsay Smith yard, who's flying at the moment, going really well. Paul Harvey keeps the ride. And we're just, again, another one of those Lindsay Smith horses we're waiting for to break through. We'll probably put a string of wins together.
Well, Lindsay had 3 horses under the $2 mark beaten last week, which I think he'd be pulling his hair about. He had Scars of Justice, which managed to loot for him as well. That would have been the 4th if that had got beaten. There's some interesting things around this filly. I didn't have her in my 4 last week, and I was really concerned that I might get egg on my face. But again, had every opportunity to win, and we're still beaten 1.3 lengths by Uptown Funk. Now, I think that's a reasonable galloper as well. I spoke to Paul Harvey after the race, and he just said she had absolutely every right to win that race and just couldn't get it done. So again, I go into this with a little bit question mark. I think it's a weaker field, so I'm happy to have her in my numbers this time, but she's hard to be confident about.
And number 4, State Solicitor, Where's the Famous Cerisa Mighton, is a well-related galloper.
Yeah, it really is. This is the half to Respondent, which has won 600,000. Also the half to Angel Wing, which has won 146,000. So breeding is certainly there. The trial was really nice in front of Count Carla, winning by 2 lengths on that occasion. That was on a soft track as well. The tongue tie goes on here. I think this is the horse to beat, and I'm going to be putting it on top. Barrier 1 with a 57 kilos. From number 1, 2 for 22. Number 6, Massachusetts, and 7, So Fancy.
I've got the 9 on top, Shadow Blaze from 6, Massachusetts, 8, Diva No Doubt, and 1, 2 for 22.
Race number 4 at Belmont Park. It's over the 1,000 metres, and the one thing that we are guaranteed in this race is speed everywhere. And we saw this again on Saturday when there is that much speed in the race. It may set up for a back marker, maybe a horse like a Jack and Sam in this race.
Yeah, there's a couple of reasonable form lines. Jack and Sam form lines, ones you mentioned as well, Adam. We'll go to the replay horse, which is Jack and Sam.
Hugging the rails, leads the way from the top weight, Potent Secret. A length and a half away behind them came Marchand. Here's Cool Passion starting to wind up down the middle at the 250. Now going to the lead, Potent Secret. Cool Passion, though, quickly descends upon it from Marchand. On the rails, Jack and Sam, but Cool Passion lets down, sprints clear from them. Jack and Sam along the rail, but it's all Cool Passion. Cool Passion, much too good, scored from Jack and Sam.
Strong performance there by the galloper. Look, he doesn't win too often. You even take a look at his track and distance record, 20 attempts, 2 victories and 3 placings. But to go within 1.5 lengths of Cool Passion, which again was a comfortable winner on the weekend, those form lines are going to hold up. It's just where this galloper wants to win and has got the class to do it. Barrier 3 should get a really nice run, but the advantage is there is, as I mentioned in the preview, so much speed in this race that I think he'll certainly get a crack at them late.
It was a slashing run last start. I remember first up I backed it at about 50 to 1. Yeah, 50 to 1 on that occasion. And it was a nice each way play. It led out in front, showed good speed, faded late. a really good run for your money anyway. And yesterday, when it got back behind Cool Passion, really ran through the field so well. And Cool Passion, she's won since. And yeah, it looks to be the right form lines. We've also got number 4 in the race, Royale. Hasn't brought his Pinjarra form to the city, Adam.
No, it hasn't, but W. Pike goes back on board, and that's what I've circled with these runs. Pikey was able to get the best out of this galloper when it came to Perth, won 3 in a row down the straight at Pinjarra. Concerned since then, but has been wide in both of the runs as well. I think it's a massive advantage that he goes back on board. The lugging bit's on as well, but I think Dan Morton would just be starting to get itchy feet about this galloper because showed so much promise early, and now a few people are scratching their heads.
Yeah, the question is still there whether it can step up to city class or not. We've also got number 7, Bangalore, a horse that we're quite keen on. Returns from a stint in Hong Kong, which is a very, very interesting factor. It has been 252 days since it's raced, and even more so 544 days since it's won, but recent trial was very good, winning by 6.8 lengths on that occasion. I think it can be a real play here from barrier 1 and only 54 kilos.
Yeah, raced in rating 80 races over in Hong Kong as well, and wasn't beaten a huge margin. And when I say huge margin, we're talking very different horses in Hong Kong compared to what we're meeting a midweek at Belmont Park. The trial was sensational, won by 7 lengths on that occasion. The time was good, and the best thing was that Peter Nucky just did not touch it at all. He sat as quiet as you could. I think he was even trying just to slow it down a little bit, but couldn't gather that up. Barrier 1, winkers on, 54 kilos. I'm happy to have this on board and see what it can do first up. From number 5, Jack and Sam, 4, Royalic, and 3, Roman Fighter.
Yeah, 7 on top for me, Bangalore. Number 5, Jack and Sam for second as well, Adam. 4, Royalic, and 1, Potent Secret.